What's going on, good peoples? I hope you're having a good day, staying safe or whatever. But hey, to go to to make a comment about my post from yesterday. Hey, like I said, them my words. I don't go back on my words. I never have and I never will. That's the way I feel about it. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect that. I respect everybody's opinion. But that was mine. And there's more to that, but I ain't want to go too far. Cause I ain't wanna dig that deep on it. I just want to let people know. I'm the type of guy, I'm gonna say what you be thinking, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it for you. I got your back. I respect you if you ain't gonna say it. I respect the role that everybody wanna play. Everybody gotta protect themselves in a certain way to live their life they wanna live, and I got respect for that. I totally do. So hey, I don't judge nobody, so don't judge me. Okay, but check this out. I had a real good friend call me on the comment of yesterday when I was talking about racism and everything. When I told him it ain't gonna get fixed, and I had to explain to him what I meant by that. And once I explained to him what I meant by that, he understood what I was talking about. He was like, well, yeah, I ain't look at it like that. I said, yeah, we going about it the wrong way. See, man, look at this, man. Racism is going to always be around, and I'm going to tell you why. For one, if you look at every other race, even including the Caucasian race, if you look at any other race, even the people that don't even like their own race, they still stick to their race to a way that we can learn from them as black people. But we too busy trying to, it ain't all our fault. I'm gonna say that right now. It's not all our fault. Our minds is a certain way because the way we was brought up into this world, in this country in general, and how we've been treated. So it's a lot of ways that need to be fixed in the black mind and be taught a certain way for certain people. But you got some people that got their head on their shoulders and got some damn sense and understand, but they don't want to understand. They like the life they live and the way they live, so they will go with whatever community they're in. They'll go and talk down on their own people with that community, not knowing that community, AKA suburban black kids, suburban African Americans, that's always been in a suburban area. You raised your kids in it, your grandparents and parents raised you in it, but on the outside, you will talk to everybody like, yeah, I'm a black man, but then you will talk to them other people like you'll talk down on your own people to make yourself look good at where you at. And that's just one problem. You got the people that's in the hood do the same thing, talk bad down on their own people. But as far as the stick together part on it, the bond, the trust, we are at the bottom of the bucket. We at the bottom of the bucket. You got your rich people that you care about, you look up to, you're inspired by them. Like your inspiration of doing things came from them. But they get around other rich people and talk down on you too. But then get on their own platform and act like they with us. But the people that they hang around know how they really feel. So they looking at them on their platform say, okay, the only way I can look at this is vocal. They ain't doing no actions on showing that they're gonna look out for their black people. This is vocal. Anybody can be vocal. Anybody can vocally say, I'm with my brothers. And I'm black or whatever, but actions mean way more louder than words. And with your platform and the more money you got, and this is on all stages, I'm not talking about just the Jay-Z's and Oprah top dollar people. This goes all the way down to the person that get $1 a day. Look, man, do your part. We gotta find a way to bond with each other first before we start attacking other races and telling them not to do shit to us. We need to get our bun right with each other. We need to check our own kind first. We need to check our own people that be acting like they with us, but they ain't with us. We need to check them first before we go checking other people. We already know how they think. We know how they feel about us. It hasn't changed. The racism hasn't went no fucking well. The only difference that's don't happen between way in the past and to now is video cameras were made and more people got their hand on it because it was put on phones. And when they put them on phones and they had these little webcams and all that stuff on your computers, the privacy of everything is starting to go away. Privacy don't mean anything no more. Privacy don't mean nothing no more. Privacy don't mean nothing until some dumbass put their privacy out there. This is privacy here. Privacy nowadays is funny to me. This is privacy. You will put your business out there. People will respond to your business that you put out there, and then you will get mad and tell that people to mind their own business. That's privacy of this day and age. That's privacy. So, and there's more to that, but I ain't got that kind of time. So, but like I said, we got a whole lot of things to fix before we kumbaya and burn down buildings and shit. And you angry and hey, whatever way you gotta do your anger, I'm not dissing it. Do what you gotta do. You wanna express your anger like that, but all I'm saying is, as a whole, we got a whole nother way we need to go about this on racism. And it needs to start that way. We need to start making people that's supposed to be representing us. They say they represent us. These richer people know them more than they know you. People on any platform, from lawyers, judges, to sheriffs, to anybody, they talk with these people, knowing that they're racist and have racism in their heart. They talk to them people. We need to hold them people responsible for showing us and proving to us that you are with us as black people, as an African American first. African American first. I ain't dissing nobody if you from somewhere else, but African American people is going through it. Everybody else in a minority is behind on what the African American is going through. They're behind. They're just catching up. So they're just catching up and they got a bun, so they would never understand the mental stage that we in for how we don't been brought up. They'll never understand. Hell, we don't even understand. They would understand because they didn't go through it. But look, like I said, I can go on and on about this, but look, man, it's a whole bigger thing about racism that we need to figure out, man. And it ain't gonna, the way we're going about asking other people that has already made their mind up about where you at in life and where they want you to be at in life. They already made their mind up. They feel like they made their mind up by telling you don't want to do right. Yeah, they is in this situation. We are in this situation a lot because of how we was treated in this country and shit like that. But we are so much aware now, I don't see how we missed the whole fact that we got to bond more together to do right. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to tell you how I feel about where we at as a generation. I felt like, and I'm giving you something to study about, since everybody want to talk about, like, learning something. We got Google. Take time out of making your post of yourself and being in the camera and talking about your family and stuff like that and learn something. And think about this in your past, if you old enough to think about this. I felt like, I'm going to give you something to think about. I felt like we should have had us an Obama back from the late 80s through the 90s era. We should have had a black president around that time. Cause of that, I'm gonna do another video to explain why I say that. But think about that era and where we was and how we had television at that time and how we was talking and we was expressing ourselves at that time as black people compared to how we express ourselves now. Up from the millennium up to now. From the millennium the year 2000 up to now. Think about that. If you old enough to think about that and see where we was. And if you're not old enough, do your studies. See how we was in the 90s, in the late 80s, and how we used to speak, videos, talk shows, all kind of shit back into that era of when black people was really talking it. Even if it was fake, we were really talking that shit back then in that era. And we showed it back then more than now. We're fighting more now, but we ain't showing more now how much we're black and how much we love black. We joining groups and Black Lives Matters and all these little weird little groups and they're preaching it, but they're being hypocrites. And it's like, now we got black groups, black women groups, we got black men groups, they're fighting with each other. And now I ain't saying they weren't fighting back then, but all back then we had more black groups. And we spoke so loudly on what we were doing back then that showed that to me more than we do that now. We show more of a bond and a cross between all races, and we're showing more of we all love each other in a certain way until something happened to a black person. Then we jump on that wagon again. I appreciate that, and we showing that we can bond all together as all races. But back then we spoke, and it looked like we had some kind of bond back then, and I wish we had a black president back then. I believe we'll be singing to a whole nother different tune right now. And it would have been a whole lot more chaos, but it would have been a whole lot more louder, and I would have felt like, oh man, yeah, now we on a battle. Cause look at all the platforms we got. We would have been able to separate who was who back then. But back then, while we was doing all the black things that we were doing, we had the other lame motherfuckers that was with the people that was really with it getting bought out by the other society of people with money that didn't give a fuck about that. They just want that money that was buying people out, making black people turn on each other. That's why right now, I'm gonna give you another thing, and I'm gone. I know y'all gonna get me deep in this shit. I'm gonna give you another thing. That's why you see a whole lot of more people now not in groups. Ain't a whole lot of singing groups. There's not a whole lot of rap groups. It's not a whole lot of groups. It's a whole lot of groups that's like some kind of groups to fight some kind of certain rights, like certain rights like the LGBT and the black LGBTQ or whatever they call it. And then you got the Black Lives Matter, and then you got all these other groups, the Me Too movement. I think I said that. All of them, you got groups, but they all groups are talking about we bonding on a personal level. This ain't got nothing to do with a race level. Not even on the Black Lives Matter. It's bigger, deeper than that with them. Cause you only scream. I feel like you're scream. I appreciate what you do and how your platform looks on the outside, but how you approach everything that goes on makes it look like a trend. Like that's the only time you scream. You scream when something's going on. You scream. We need you to scream all the time. All the time. Show me more than just waiting on another person to die and jump on a wagon and get all these people grouped up with the shirts and shit and get out there and do that. And then when it all calms down, y'all go back into your cave a little bit and just start putting posters up to just try to keep your platform up. No, I need you to do bigger than that, baby. And then I'll be really with you all the way. Like I said, we got a whole lot of way to go, baby. Y'all have a good day, baby.